All right, hello everyone. I hope you all can hear me. We will be starting with the session now. Dear
Hello,
author,
good afternoon.
guest. Yes, good afternoon, ma'am. I welcome
Good
you all to
morning from my
technical session
sis.
7B. Yes, sir. Good morning, Akhtar, sir.
Yes, good morning to you. Good morning to everyone else as well.
My name is Dimahi Patel and I will be the moderator for this session. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation and GR Scholastic LLP, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to the International Conference on Machine and Computing Technologies for Sustainable Development, Manila, Philippines. The conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event was held yesterday, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom yesterday and today, that is 12th and 13th December 2025. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. In this session, we have 8 presentations. Each presenter will be given 12 minutes for presentation and 3 minutes for question and answers. On 10 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder. There is another request to all participants that you all stay connected with us till the closing remarks. If you have any query or update, then you can write it to me in the chat box. Now, before we continue, I would like to introduce you all to the session chair we have with us. We have with us Professor Divina M. Estachio. Professor Divina is an assistant professor at National University, Philippines, where she teaches mathematics and actively engages in mathematics education research. With 9 years of teaching experience in the Philippines, she has built a strong foundation in delivering high quality instruction and contributing to scholarly work in the field of the study. Professor remains dedicated to advancing mathematics education and fostering academic excellence among her students. A warm welcome to you, ma'am, and I request you to share a few words you may have for the presenters today.
Good day to our distinguished guests, respected colleagues, researchers, and participants joining us here across the globe. It is with great pride and enthusiasm that we open this international conference on machine computing technologies for sustainable development. This is a platform born from shared vision of ISBM and also ICT4SD. So, and it's strengthened by our collective commitment to innovation with purpose. So, at a time such that artificial intelligence, machine learning, and emerging digital technologies are reshaping how we work, learn, and live. So this conference invite us not only to explore technological advancement, but also to reflect on how people, skills, and processes must evolve alongside it. So may today's conversation inspire collaborations, spark new ideas, and also empower us to harness computing technologies as instruments of inclusive growth and sustainable development for the future. Thank you very much, and I hope that we enjoy our presentation today.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Now we will be starting with the presentations now. I would like to call Jocelyn De Vera. Jocelyn, ma'am, please present
Yes,
your study on changing trends in teacher education, a comparative study in India and the Philippines.
yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. I hope I am audible, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, let me share my slide. Okay, I hope my slide is now visible.
Yes, ma'am, we can see your slide.
Okay. So, a pleasant afternoon, everyone. My study is all about changing trends in teacher education, a comparative study in India and in the Philippines. For a while, I think it's okay. It's moving. Okay, I'm Dr. Jocelyn Sagon de Vera from Pangasinan State University, Alameda City campus, and together with me in this study is Dr. Siramulu Gosikunda of Banaras Hindu University, Uttar Pradesh, in India. In India, the Ministry of Education indicated that 2020 education policy, or we have the NEP, has benefited interdisciplinary and holistic learning development. The NEP 2020 established a 4-year integrated B.Ed program which integrates both general education and teacher education training.
Also noteworthy is the 35% of the ranking of investment in digital platforms for teacher training between 2019 and 2023, which showed a trend towards technology-based instruction. These changes were in the form of elevating the standards in career education and only retaining those instructors with capabilities for working varying across classroom contexts. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, direct training of teachers for educational reform beyond books or classroom was observed. It is also an endeavor to elevate teachers' standards in the development of the Philippine Professional Standards for Teachers. Between 2019 to 2023, the implementation of teacher education program in the Philippines increased by 20%, delivered in accordance with international best practices. This map enhancement are intended to target teacher education sector and to optimize the overall quality education across wider community. It is important to train teachers to build national education system. Initial preparation for the program for teachers in India and in the Philippines had begun undergo major redesigns. Motivation for changes to teacher education practices are influenced by technological advancement, legislation, and changing educational needs. Education system in both countries underwent comparison to measure teacher education activities from 2019 to 2024. The present study involved the analysis of the recent teacher education policy reform in India and Philippine contexts. The objective of this study is that here in India and the Philippines to determine the similarities and differences in reforms regarding structural change in India and in the Philippines, to know the pedagogical advancement and the use of technology. And number three is to identify the barriers and opportunities in education for both countries. For the methodology, we made use of exploratory comparative research design, wherein document analysis, semi-structured interviews, and focus group was conducted. Document analysis on the number of documents related to policy, curricular framework, institutional reports, and historical documents. For the exploratory comparative research design was also suited for probing deeply and yet simultaneously the development of teacher education in both locations, while enabling the direct comparison of teacher education in program design and content delivery and policies. Multiple research methods were utilized to gather information such as document analysis, semi-structured interviews, and focus group. Researchers undertook document analysis on the number of documents related to policy, curriculum, frameworks, institutional reports, and historical documents. Teacher education policymakers and administrators were interviewed individually according to the interview guide to gather feedback about current reforms and challenges. And here's the result. In India, in the national education policy in 2020 established a significant initiative to redesign educational system in the country and has a clear bearing on the teacher education. Aside from that, integrated teacher education in India, or we have the ITET, is a four-year integrated B.Ed program will be the minimum qualification for teachers by 2030. That is according to the Ministry of Education in 2022. This is designed to provide teachers with both subjects, matters-based, and pedagogical content, knowledge to prepare well-informed and holistic teacher. On the other hand, here in India, the national education policy emphasizes teachers education teachers in their knowledge and practice and intended to support professional growth and practice assessment. Continuing professional education, the government mandates also teachers to engage in CPD or continuing professional development, no? As a legal obligation with a fully pledged purpose to ensure teachers further improve their effectiveness to stay current with all their knowledge and skills. In India, the National Council for Teachers, or NCTE, has accountability for all teacher education institutions. There are usually two areas of study, including B.Ed and diploma in elementary education programs, and these current programs run the length of 1 to 2 years. This includes classroom studies as well as practical teaching experiences. In India also, challenges still exist, such as curricula that have not yet and a little use of digital technology or local teaching resources. Meanwhile, in comparison here in the Philippines, we have the Commission on Higher Education for the college level. In this model, the Bachelor of Secondary Elementary Education programs are the right to confirm degrees to 4 years and includes general education course, teaching methods course, and field experiences. These computing models provide some flexibility and adaptation schools more related to K to 12 reforms and Asian integration. So there is what you call an integration in the curricula of the teacher education. In conclusion, in India, traditional teaching practices which emphasize rote learning, lectures to constructivist and learner-centered approach in teacher education still exist, and issues remain such as outdated curriculum, no digital education, and lack of localized teaching resources are still existing in some areas. Meanwhile, in the Philippines, the initial teacher education program has also moved towards presenting outcomes-based education. This was intended to prepare future teachers with appropriate skills for critical thinking, pedagogical content knowledge, and assessment literacy. Additionally, Filipino teacher education includes special needs education, multicultural education, and technology in education, but the resources required are open available at urban-based institution but not in rural institution. Okay, and thank you so much for listening. That's it, ma'am.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Divina ma'am, any questions for her?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that wonderful presentation. So I want to ask one question, ma'am. What key lesson can India and the Philippines learn from each other to strengthen teacher education reform in a sustainable way?
Yes, ma'am. Both countries wanted that as much as possible, they have to, what you call that? They have to update, no, their students. Just like also here in the Philippines, they wanted that as much as possible, they have to update. No, they have to give the latest curriculum and updated, no, when it comes to education. However, just like the Philippines, there are still some areas, according to my collaborator, wherein there are still areas in India, specifically in an rural area, wherein the mode of education is just like also in the Philippines, wherein they have to accept it little by little. Okay, that the advancement is already there. However, it's just a sort of little by little.
But thank you very much, ma'am, for that answer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I have
Thank you,
no question
ma'am.
anymore. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes. Let's stop sharing.
Now, next, I would like to call Pooja KNS. Pooja KNS or any of the co-authors. Veena May Ampo. Veena ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Please present your study on exploring university student exit interviews through natural language processing for strategic management insights.
Okay.
Ma'am Wen, I'll be the one to
Okay,
share.
okay. Sige, Sir Darrell.
I'll let you know, sir.
Okay, Sir Darrell will be the one to present the PowerPoint. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Winamay Ampo from Bohol Island State University, and I will be presenting a research entitled Exploring Student Experiences in an Exit Interview Using Topic Modeling. Together with me are my co-researchers, Sir Darrell Cardania, Ma'am Charlotte Cabapog, and Professor Elsa Cadorna, All of us are from Bohol Island State University. Okay, exit interviews are valuable source of feedback, but large volume of textual data is challenging to analyze manually. Understanding student concerns is crucial for enhancing student satisfaction and retention. And with that, the research utilized a topic modeling the latent Dirichlet allocation to analyze exit interview content and identify key issues and recommendations. Okay, for the methodology, NLP, or the natural language processing, is used as a base techniques for thematic analysis, and data collected are from 1,107 graduating students from 2021 to 2023 at Baisu Kandihay campus. The process flow for data collection starts from the data collection and then the data processing and the thematic analysis up to the insights. Okay, for the results and discussion as to educational preparation and career plans, the majority of the respondents, or 75.2%, found the educational preparation at Baisukandehe campus to be very helpful for their career plans, reflecting a strong positive perception. A significant portion also, or 23.4%, considered it helpful, suggesting general benefit with room for improvement. And a small fraction of 1.2% felt it was somewhat helpful, indicating possible areas for enhancement. So the respondents value the educational, or 26% of the respondents' resources and environment at Baisukandihay campus as perceived as crucial for career preparation, highlighting strong overall support. Practical experience through internships or in the job training is also highly valued for its real-world application, and 21% for multilingualism is seen also as an important for expanding career opportunities, and 16% for the teaching methods and 12% for curriculum are considered important but less critical compared to the overall educational environment and practical experience. Okay, for the as to students' experience, students identify that the terms activities, approachable, best, academic, and class have greatly aided their learning and developed the theme interactive learning activities, while thinking back on the excellent times they have had while attending the university. This theme includes an array of instructional techniques and approaches that actively involve students in the learning process, enhancing its dynamic and emotive qualities. The theme of interactive learning activities play a crucial role in creating a more engaging and student-centered learning environment. These activities typically involve group projects, hands-on experiments, role-playing, and collaborative problem-solving tasks. The incorporation of various learning activities allows students to apply theoretical in real-world context. For the program strength, the theme holistic educational experience is a cornerstone for academic strength. High quality instruction and a diverse range of subjects contribute to a rich learning environment that fosters intellectual growth and critical thinking. Okay, for the recommendations for improvement, or conclusion and recommendations, Baisukandihe campus achieved its vision, mission, and goals. Thus, several key recommendations can be also made under the theme Enhancing Institutional Excellence. Now, these recommendations focus on improving various aspects of the campus to ensure it remains competitive and continually provide high quality education. Facilities should also be supported to have a conducive learning environment. And investing in modern and well maintained facilities can enhance students' educational experiences and support their academic and extracurricular activity. This includes upgrading classrooms, laboratories, libraries, and recreational areas to meet current standards and technological advancement. For the conclusion, the studies and analysis of experiences, educational preparation, and program strength at Baiso Kandihay reveal significant insights into the effective of the university's educational offerings and the overall student experience. Additionally, students recognize the importance of approachable faculty, effective communication, and robust academic programs in their overall success. While the educational experience is largely positive, there are also calls for continuous improvements as to facilities, infrastructure and educational programs to ensure the institution remains competitive and aligned with its mission. So I think that would be all for my presentation, and thank you very much.
Yes, Divina ma'am, any questions for her?
Thank you, ma'am, for that wonderful presentation. So, I have one question, ma'am. So, how can these insights generated from the topic modeling of exit interviews be systematically integrated po into institutional decision making to improve student retention and program quality?
Actually, ma'am, we have just finished the study, and we we had already presented it in our in-house colloquium, and hopefully, while we are still on the process also of revising our student manuals and also other manuals, we will find time to gather together with me, my co-researchers, and create a policy or a program based on the findings of the study.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that answer.
Okay, thank you po.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Now, next, I would like to call Melody De Vera. Melody ma'am or any of the co-authors?
Ma'am, excuse me. I think Ma'am Melody is still in other session because she's also a session chair in
Oh, okay,
other
all right. So we'll skip
group.
her papers for now and
Yeah.
we'll let you know. Okay.
Okay, I'll just inform her, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Sabo Hermavan. Sabo sir or any of the co-authors? Zarif bin Akhtar.
Yes,
Zarif
ma'am.
sir?
Yes, I'm available. If I'm allowed, I can present, so no worries.
Okay, thank you, sir. Please present your paper on scientific exploration
Okay.
of extraterrestrial planets and analysis using quantum computing.
Okay, so just give me a moment. I hope my slides are visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is actually one of my undergrad thesis projects with my colleague. So we were trying to like recreate space exploration from a cognitive computing perspective with the least amount of costing. So especially in a country like Bangladesh, where there is less amount of opportunities, and especially in terms of natural disaster, climate change, hazards. So we are actually facing with a lot of existential crisis in our country. So during my undergrad, I was initially very much interested in working with robotics, autonomous systems that maybe we can come to a conclusion that, okay, one, if the planet is not habitable, how can we make a better planet? So this is where the idea and conceptualization came from. So during my undergrad, I actually worked towards the Mars rover challenge. Me and my colleague, we were both accepted. So when we participated in that challenge, we were into the idea that this is very costly, and especially like if there's no funding and if somebody wants to dive into this path or wants to introduce themselves to this cognition, how can they perceive? So this is where our project and thesis comes in. So I will walk you through with the whole terminology that we mainly sorted out. So from a geological point view, like if you're a geologist or a computer scientist, the first thing that you need is technical scientific explorability. Then you need equipment. And based on those equipments, you need scientific analysis. And the main major problem comes to the point that you cannot tackle this much computational resources into the field. So this is where the Mars rover basically comes in. So if you're familiar with the Curiosity rover or the Mars rover, which is designed by NASA, they use something called the OASIS system, which serve as a three different parametric system, which has a vision, which has a model classifier, which goes through software analysis, and it has its own sensorial data in terms of spectrometry. So this is what we basically tried to reconstruct, but with minimal and what we have basically available, basically a DIY to be more precise. So we first initialize on the computer vision system and how the Mars rover actually operates. So this is the Mars rover. It's hovering around NASA's, well, in the Mars extraterrestrial terrain. So this is how it basically goes to its scientific areas of interest, whether it's water, whether it's rocks, whether it's segmentation. And then when it identifies the segmentation, it basically does a classification of a computer vision model. This is where we trained a total of 437 images of 42 categories to have similar constipation in terms of segmentation from a natural scene using image processing. So using our customized model, we were able to achieve very good real-time detection. I will show you a demonstration as I move along the presentation. So this is kind of like a real-time identification of our segmentation approach. So this is from the vision perspective. Now, from the software analysis part, which we did a DIY spectrophotometer ourselves, because like inducing a laser into a scientific area and then recognizing the elements that are included from the qualitative aspect. So we tried to minimize this with a different speculation. So what we did is we took a small laser and we had our rocks and samples. We used a convex lens with a diffraction grating of zero point 0.5 to project that particular peak of the spectrum, which we ran through a database of constructual elements. So we took the peaks of those particular wavelengths to find out and identify the continued extraction so that our model is able to understand from the vision prospect and identify based on that terminology. So this is one of the softwares we use, the Sermino spectrometer. We took the peak wavelengths and tried to do a statistical probability calculation to find out the wavelengths and the intensity. From this, we can identify what amount of probability is that for that particular element to be from that particular soil or particular segmentation. And this is how we do the identification of our software analysis. Then so this is actually an experimental part we got to do because at the time IBM Q launched their, I guess you could say, prototype version. So in order to like use the Mars rover OSS system in real time, it takes a lot of hierarchical computing power, and especially the trained algorithms is much more harder to conduce. So using IBMQ online experiment, we tested this model in a 3-qubit quantum gate because in terms of classical computing, quantum computing can do this process in milliseconds or in nanoseconds. So we were able to achieve very good results, but this is still a theoretical prospect because there are not that many nanoparticles or quantum computing devices available. I think if my memory serves me right, we have 8 qubits currently available, which can be used, but this is only available for a specific set of requirements and specific layer of devices. So then we included all this to our DIY project, the rover we basically designed. Still, keep in mind this is room for improvement because there are a lot more things that came afterwards when we did the experimentation. But from our rover model, we were able to have a much more simplified version of the Mars rover. It is basically going to its point of interest, trying to detect and identify the rocks. And from our base categories of classification, it's trying to figure out which pattern is mostly it resembling to. And based on the peaks it's generating, it's trying to identify which rock it basically is. So in a way, 200,000 project, which basically NASA does, we tried to do it in under $100. So from that contributional point of view, we have a very good lightweight model, which is less both in terms of cost and equipment, and it can be utilized for individual persons as well, because you can train the model your own way, maybe with different labels or different categories, and especially with AI, you can probably do much more better object identification. So in a way, this is kind of like if you're into the idea of autonomous systems, this is kind of like a pipeline we tried to produce. And like I said, this is budget friendly. You don't need to necessarily create a rover or an exploration device. You can also do it from a software point of view. This is why we phase down each of the parts into different segments. So concerning our country's perspective, we interviewed and surveyed a lot of people in terms of like what they think from the engineering perspective. So in terms of exploring extraterrestrial planets, because at the way that the global warming is taking effect and with natural resources not being utilized fully, because especially in Bangladesh, like you need at least 33 to 45% of greenery, but now it's being lessened down more to 15 and 13%, which is a very critical aspect for us, which may be a reason why we have so many disasters. So in terms of Earth's future, and especially in the context of Bangladesh, this was something that we tried to innovate for future generation engineers to ensure a much more sustainable system, perhaps a better infrastructure so that people are more aware. And we tried to minimize the gap as much as possible. So, one of the great things that actually came out is that our university now gets funding for participating in the Mars Rovers Challenge, which me and my colleague went to in Utah. So hopefully the new next generation of future engineers will probably make a much more better updatation than us. And also because this was during the pandemic, so we actually wanted to go to the GSB, which is called the Geological Survey Institute of Bangladesh, where they have minerals of samples and try to test this for further analysis. But because of the pandemic, everything was shut down. And when everything began to normalize, me and my colleague, we kind of went towards our higher studies. So this was the project at its state. So that concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to us. And thank you very much for your attention.
Yes, Divina ma'am, any questions?
Thank you, sir, for that presentation. So I have two questions actually.
Yeah,
So
please
one
go ahead.
is, what distinguishes this study from existing
Mhm.
planetary rover research, particularly in its integration of AI in
Okay.
spectroscopy, exploratory
Mhm.
quantum computing within a single autonomous framework? And in a hope that this is a theoretical study, sir, right? Thank
Well,
you.
yes, yeah, I will give you two perspectives on that. So one of the things that I can give you is you are familiar with microcontrollers like the Raspberry Pi or NVIDIA Jetson Nano. So from a rover perspective, like you're saying, this pipeline, you can use the microcontroller as a brain itself. You don't need to necessarily create the whole system, and you can do the pipeline directly from there. Also, if you want a specific, maybe mechanical system, which can be connected to a base or maybe a remote assembly, that is also possible. So this is why we divided the parts into three distinct categories, that if you want to work on the vision prospect, that is also possible. If you want to do software analysis, that is also possible. If you have more sensor hardware data, of course, you can have better approximation and estimation. So you can combine all of them as well. And in terms of AI, we actually like experimented with some of the APIs, but as you know, like during 2022, AI wasn't at the state it is currently now. So with API integration, you can probably train much more better systems. So this was completely from scratch, but now if you have more labels, if you use deep learning, YOLO VNet, I think you'll have much more better refined results. So we tried to like minimize the gap with Mars rover because we don't have that funding and we cannot use those resources or hardware sensors. So we tried to minimize with what we basically have surrounding us in our environment and tried to estimate a pipeline based on that.
Okay, sir, thank you. And I have another one, sir.
Yes, please.
So how this interdisciplinary rover model so contribute to advancing sustainable, autonomous, and data-driven planetary exploration, as you said, in future space missions?
Yeah. Well, actually, there is already a prototype that I'm actually currently working on. I'm currently in the EU. So there is a EU project called the Space Project, and they are kind of utilizing what we designed, and they're testing this prototype for UAVs. So they have the UAVs from their company resources, and they're letting us experiment on that. So instead of the Mars rover, they're now trying to move that dimensionality and pipeline to the UAV so the UAV can work autonomously and make decisions based on the pipeline that we created. So it's still a work in progress. So hopefully we'll be able to make some new contributions. One thing I can tell you is that one of the initial results that we had, I think it's probably published in USIPCO, I believe, and a book we almost prepared from Olivia Press. So our results that we achieved with the UAV is available there. So we kind of dissipated it to like a storytelling so that if somebody else wants to try that, they can probably like, if they follow the steps, they can make and design their own way. And they can probably contribute their own innovations that perhaps for their particular problem, it can be customized. So we let that customization be there because we cannot use the OASIS system ourselves, but perhaps maybe a small lightweight version can be customized based on the people or the user or the researcher.
Thank you, sir, for that answers. Po. I have no more
Okay.
questions, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Also, we are also joined by Dr. Kirti Vanjali ma'am as our session chair. So I welcome you, ma'am. And if you have any questions for Akhtar, sir, you may please ask him.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I have no questions, but I would like to appreciate his work, that he is doing a work that is really required nowadays to have sustainability. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
ma'am. I hope I am able to give some meaningful contribution back. Thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes, yes, Akhtar, you have done it. Good. And now you are getting funding as well. So that is a really good moment that is happening. So all the best. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you, sir. Now, please allow me to formally introduce Dr. Kirti Vanjali ma'am. Dr. Kirti is currently working as an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science in Vishwakarma Institute of Information Technology, Pune, India. She has 14 years of teaching experience and she has presented papers in many national and international conferences and published articles in many international journals. Her research areas are wireless sensor network, AI, IoT, and image processing. Welcome, ma'am. And if you have any few welcoming words for the presenters, please say them.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be part of this event, this conference. I would like to wish all the best to all the presenters, and really hoping for the getting new ideas from this all new generation, and wishing all the best to the conference as well as my all presenters. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll be continuing with the presentations now. Melody De Vera. Melody, ma'am.
Yes, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Please present your paper on grit and academic performance of college students, major in mathematics in a flexible learning environment.
Yes, for a while. Just a moment, please. Can you see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, a pleasant day to everyone. The title of our research is Grit and Academic Performance of College Students Major in Mathematics in a Flexible Learning Environment. With me is Mr. Brandis Encilino, our guidance counselor from Pangasinan State University, Philippines. Success is often achieved by individuals who combine right attitude and behaviors with their dreams. As said by Angela Duckworth, she emphasized that anyone striving to succeed, whether for parents, students, hinges not on innate talent, but on a unique blend of passion and persistence, termed the grit. Similarly, Daniels also assert that success is rooted from fusion of passion, purpose, and persistence. In the academe, success is commonly gauged through the academic performance, which is a key factor for employability. Prior to pandemic, over 100 Philippine universities relied heavily on the face-to-face instruction. But due to the crisis, institution needs to adapt rapidly with the integration of technology. So we had the flexible learning, which is a learner-centered approach that allows students to control the pace, place, and mode of study, and this became central to the academic continuity. Although flexible learning has reshaped students' academic experience during pandemic, little is known about how psychological traits like grit interact with academic performance under these learning setups. So with mathematics as an intensive program, there is a need to examine the grit within this specific population. So addressing this gap, the present study investigate relationship between grit and academic performance among BSc Math students within the context of flexible learning during the COVID-19 pandemic. The objectives of the study are as follows: describe the demographic profile of the BSc Mathematics students, determine the grit scores of BSc Math students, assess the academic performance of BSc Math students under the flexible learning environment, examine the relationship between grit and academic performance of the BSc Math students, and identify significant differences in grit scores across the students' demographic profile. So we made use of descriptive, correlational, and comparative research design in the study. We had 217 college students enrolled in the Bachelor of Secondary Education, major in mathematics, as our sample from the entire university. The data collection was done during January to May of 2022, and the main instrument has two parts. First part is the gathering of profile respondents, and the second was the grit assessment. This instrument was adapted from the questionnaire developed by the psychologist Angela Duckworth. So here are the results of the profile. So majority are female who are taking up BSc Mathematics courses, and their ages is within 18 to 20 years old, and they are mostly residing from barrio, which means they are from the rural area, not in the city proper. And mostly are graduate from public schools, and they are regular students, and very few are returning students with scholarship, and they are full-time students, but we also have working students. And more than half are with honors during their senior high schools, and they belong to the family size of 6 to 10 members. And the majority belong to the poor family group with an income of 5,000 and below. When it comes to academic performance, okay, the grades or the grade point average of the students within the covered semester was used. So a grade of 1.0 is the highest passing grade, while a grade of 3.0 is the lowest grade. So a 5.0 grade is a failing grade. So considering all the GPAs of the students within the semester, the computed mean value is 1.85, which is at satisfactory level. For the grade of the BSc Mathematics students, we have a grade of 3.80, and the lowest registered grade is 1.0, which imply that some students have high level of grade and others are not grade at all. So in general, the grade level of the students is at 2.65, which is moderately high. Okay. Out of the maximum scores of 25, Perseverance mini score is 15.77, and this is higher than their passion, which is 10.68. So they have the tendency to stick with the task even when it is challenging, having a strong interest, demonstrate deep enjoyment, express confidence in what they are doing. So the relationship between grit and academic performance was also measured. So we found out a highly significant relationship with an R value of 0.180 for passion and academic performance. This indicates that as the level of grit and passion of the BSc Math students increases, their academic performance also increases and vice versa. So this also says that grit remains to be related to academic performance of success of college students, especially those who be taking up mathematics as their major. So here are the factors, significant factors of grit. So one is the enrollment status. Okay, grit of continuing students are significantly different from returning students. Though the effect size is small, we can say that enrollment status is a differentiating factor of grit for the BSc Mathematics students. For gender, it is also significant. So, and males have shown the highest grit among the gender. For the senior high school award, it was found out that this is also significant. And non-honored students, those with high honor and non-honored students are significantly different. Another is the monthly family income. Okay. The results highlight that across specific family income brackets, there is significant differences. And students who belong to a family earning above 30,000 above shown the highest grit, thus implying that socioeconomic factors such as family income may shape student perseverance and resilience in academic context. So these are the profile that does not differentiate the grit of BSc Mathematics students: the age, residence location, senior high school's type, scholarship, student status, and family size. While gender, enrollment status, senior high school awards, and monthly family income are the significant differentiating factors of grit. Okay. So the findings revealed that most BSc Mathematics students were 18 to 20 years old, female full-time scholars hailing from economically disadvantaged backgrounds in rural areas with medium-sized families ranging from 6 to 10 members, and most had graduated from public senior high school. During pandemic, they demonstrate moderate grit and satisfactory academic performance. A significant positive association was found between grit and academic performance. And grit varied significantly by gender, monthly family income, senior high school awards, and enrollment status, with highest grade observed among male returning students from families earning over 30,000. Male mathematics major students, particularly from higher income families, exhibited greater grit, reflecting resilience and determination in meeting academic demands during pandemic. The following can be recommended. So to enhance the academic performance of BSc mathematics students, it's crucial to foster grit. This can be achieved through various activities integrated in the classroom, such as students discover their passion, encouraging deliberate practice, setting challenging goals, and guiding them to the higher purpose in their studies. Introducing a grit enhancement program through the guidance office can be invaluable, as it not only assists students in tackling their challenges, but also helps shape qualities essential for academic and future success. And consider the factor like sex, monthly family income, student status, and high school award received can serve as differentiating factors in determining grade. They can also be utilized as additional criteria for identifying students who are likely to successfully complete the BSE math program. So thank you very much.
Divina ma'am, any questions?
Thank you very much, Ma'am De Vera, for that
Yes.
presentation. So I have one question, ma'am.
Yes po.
What makes this study distinct from previous researches po on grit and academic performance in
This is
flexible learning context po?
yes. So this study is unique because it focus on the BSE mathematics program of the university. There are a lot of studies about grit, but they only focused on other majors. And here in our university, would like to know how this grit can help in the academic performance of our students. We would also want to increase the number of graduates in the different programs in the BSE, especially on the mathematics programs.
Thank you very much, ma'am. So I have no other questions.
Thank you.
Kirti ma'am, any questions?
No questions, ma'am. Like I like the presentation, and like she has shown that she has studied a lot about this topic. So right now, like no questions from my side for this time.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Now, Melody ma'am will be presenting her another paper titled New Normal Parenting Challenges and General Roles to Tertiary Learners in State Universities and Colleges in Region 1.
Yes, thank you again. So I'll be presenting another research paper. Let me share again my screen for a while. Okay, loading. Is it already there? Can you see the screen now, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this research was conducted with Dr. Gilbert Moralista, our GAD director in the university, in the Pangasinan State University, Philippines. Okay, in the Philippines, family plays a vital role in shaping an individual's life, and it remains the top priority in the Philippines. So it is the dream of every Filipino family that at least one can graduate a degree. So we believe that education is the key to a brighter future and our path out of poverty. So during pandemic, education was affected, and face-to-face learning was converted into flexible learning. So Sevilla from the Department of Education cited that the role of parents, especially on online platform, is very relevant and huge. Since parent took on greater roles providing devices, internet access, and emotional support while they are at home. So in response to the SHED Memorandum Order number 4 of 2020, higher education institutions was mandated to adopt flexible learning. And similarly, we have DepEd Order number 12, introducing the Learning Continuity Plan, while the Philippine Development Plan 2023 to 2028 emphasize inclusive and resilient education. So despite these policy interventions, few studies have examined the extent and the challenges of parental support for tertiary learners in flexible technology-driven education. So this study aims to fill this gap by assessing parental support during the pandemic, exploring gender-based roles, identifying challenges, and proposing interventions that strengthen parents' capacity in higher education. So here are the objectives. First, we'd like to establish the profile of fathers and mothers of the tertiary education students, evaluate the extent of support given by fathers and mothers in upholding the educational needs of their children enrolled to tertiary education, compare the extent of support given by the fathers and mothers toward their children's education during pandemic, then test the relationship between the profile of parents and their extent of educational support toward their children, determine the top challenges or issues encountered by parents in giving support to their tertiary children, and lastly, to develop an action plan to address the identified challenges. We made use of descriptive correlational method. Random sampling was observed in selecting 1,000 student respondents. Conducted survey by using hard copy questionnaires and sending Google Form links to target respondents. So we work with other state universities in the region. So they serve as our focal person for identifying the student respondents. The questionnaire was validated by 3 researchers in the field of education, psychology, and gender and development. Okay, only the enrolled teacher education students in the school year 2021 to 2022 with both parents alive from different SUCs in Region 1 serve as the respondents of the study. Okay, so descriptive statistics and basic inferential stat, like the t-test and ETA, were utilized. So here are the results. For the father, the most common age is 50 to 59. And their education, they mostly finish high school level with a monthly family income of 5,000 pesos and below. While for mothers, their age is within 40 to 49 years old. So majority of the mothers are 40 to 49 years old with high school level and a monthly income of 5,000 pesos and below, around 75%. So next. Okay, for the occupation of the parents, mostly since we are in Region 1, the occupation of the fathers is usually farming, or they are fisher folks or salt maker at 38.4%. While mothers, majority are housewife. Okay. Other occupation for fathers are factory worker, they are factory worker, carpenter, laborer at 19.4%. And transportation-related jobs at 15%, while mothers are usually vendor sellers And also they assist their husband. So they are also farmer, fisher folk, and salt makers. Okay. Still, there are fathers who have no job, or they are called house husband. So it was found out that it was found out that not only the mothers are staying in the house or they have no job. There are also some fathers. But generally, 88.3% among the fathers are working, while 49% among the mothers are working. So we have more men working than the mothers. Okay, so we made use of this transmutation table to describe the result of the extent of educational support of fathers and mothers to their children. So it comes to financial, both father and mother has given high support. For student engagement and time management, such as monitoring attendance in class, tracking schedules, okay, father has shown moderate support, while mothers shown high support. For moral, for cheering up their children, to encourage them to share life experiences, both have shown high support. For healthcare and security and safety, both had given high support. So overall, both father and mothers had given high support to their tertiary children. To compare the level of support of fathers and mothers to the education of their children, we made use of independent sample t-test. So it can be seen here that there is significant difference on the level of support given by father and mothers. And Cohen's D here is 0.77, which shows a medium effect size. Okay. For the relationship of parents' profile and their overall extent of support to the education of their children, we have an R, which is 0.170 with P less than 0.01, indicating higher income fathers tend to provide stronger educational and emotional support. For mothers' income, okay, for mothers, income also showed a significant positive correlation with their support, while age had a weak but significant association. These results indicate that income is the strongest and most consistent predictor of parental support. Okay, the challenges encountered during the pandemic are as follows. One is on the logistic barrier. Some say they are dissatisfied with distance learning, inability to meet students' need, lack of student preparation, not fair due to unequal status in life. Financial barriers, some of the challenges are increase in electricity consumption, financial crisis, lost job, unstable work, inability to pay for internet services, no capacity to buy gadgets. Okay, another is for technical barrier, insufficient investment of technology, lack of training on technology, weak internet connectivity, and inaccessible communication technology. For the environmental barrier, they say it's noisy and busy community, lack of space, poor ventilation, knowing here in the Philippines is hot, no? Increase on children's disagreement quarrels. Sometimes we have 4 to 6 family members. That's why there are disagreements. Okay. And personal barriers, lack of technical expertise, lack of training and support, lack of qualifications and knowledge. So to address the challenges, we have here the action plan. So on the first challenge under logistic, the goal is to The goal is to empower students effectively using the designated online learning platforms. So the project goal is intensify distance learning skills for optimum learning.
Ma'am, sorry for interruption, but gentle reminder that you've crossed your
Yes.
10-minute mark.
Yes. And then for responsive financial aid and support programs for students, enhance energy management is the project goal. And for technical, the project goal is effective technical training program, improve internet connectivity. So in conclusion, both fathers and mother showed overall high support to educational needs of their children. Mothers' overall extent of support to their children is higher than the fathers. Okay, and the top three challenges encountered are on logistic, financial, and technical barriers. And the parents' income, occupation, and sex gender are related to parents' overall support to their education of their children. Okay, thank you. That would be all.
Yes, Divina ma'am, any questions for her?
Thank you very much, ma'am, for that presentation. So for my question, ma'am, so uh, of all these results, no, how can the higher institutions and of course policymakers leverage these findings on parental support to design more inclusive interventions that assist students and families during disruption, just like pandemic and some disasters?
In
Thank
the
you, ma'am.
SUCs, in the higher education systems, we have fourfold functions. Aside from research, we also have an extension. So in our extension, we can tap mothers and the fathers that they can increase their support as shown in the results. So we have to engage more fathers in their support, especially not only on the financial aspect, but also on the other aspects as mentioned. Okay, because it was shown here that mothers have high support to their children because most of the time they are at home. So even if fathers are very busy working, we can still encourage them to have more time with their children so that they can help them in their academic endeavor. Especially college life is very exhausting and it's very hard. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am,
And
for that
additional,
answer, ma'am.
yes, well, additional, maybe the SUCs can also provide livelihood programs for the mothers since very few are working. So while they are watching for their children, they can do some livelihood projects or work that they can easily handle at home.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am,
you.
for that answer.
Thank you,
I have no
ma'am.
more question, ma'am.
Thank you.
Dr. Kirti, any questions for ma'am?
Yes, yes. The topic is very good. I just want to know like you have said that you're going to have some thing that the mothers will be like more literate about their children's growing up and all. So fathers can also, like, as your conclusion says that mothers overall extent is more than the father. At least for moral support, the father should be
Yes,
there, right?
yes,
I'll suggest that try to have some program where the fathers will help the children for increasing their moral support and the
yes, ma'am.
likewise. So
Thank you,
I hope
ma'am,
that
for the
you have some
suggestion.
action plan for that, right?
Yes, yes, Pop. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes, yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much, Melody ma'am.
Yes, Pop. Uh-huh. Stop share.
So I would like to call Surya Anugrah. Surya sir, or any of the co-authors. Okay, Shraddha Shahapurkar, please present your study on EEG-based anxiety level prediction. We cannot hear you, ma'am.
Hello, am I audible?
Ah, yes, you are audible now.
Yeah, sorry. I will be sharing. Uh, can you see my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so my topic is EEG based anxiety level prediction. Uh, Anxiety disorders are one of the most widespread health concerns right now globally. There are millions of people affected by it, and however, conventional anxiety assessment methods are largely subjective, relying on questionnaires and clinical interviews. In contrast to the solution that we have proposed, electroencephalography or EEG signals uh, provides an objective, non-invasive, and real-time method of measuring brain activity. EEG signals they contain rich informations. They have signals like alpha, beta, gamma, theta, which are subjected to specific brain activities like sleep, stress, which and cognitive thinking, which result in anxiety. Our motivation for this project was uh, although EEG datasets are available, they are often stored in complex nested formats. So mm, our goal was to design automated EEG data extraction, ensure consistent pre-processing, enable multi-mask classification, provide interpretable visual through topographic maps, contributions, uh, automated data extraction from end-to-end EEG based anxiety level prediction model, standardized pre-processing pipeline. We performed channel harmonization, sample length normalization, trial filtering, and matrix formation. And our results, we trained four random forest classifiers for it. We for seizure detection, uh, seizure detection and attention level, emotion recognition, and anxiety classification. Our dataset consisted of around 11,000 files, and the dataset contained 64 channels EEG recordings from different parts of the brain, and the sampling rate was 250 hertz with 416 samples per rate, which was 2.66 seconds. Our data was stored in raw RD files, and we had to extract them. And the whole dataset was in a zip file, which was engraved in all the files were engraved in it. We had to unzip them. A methodology. Our proposed framework consisted of five main stages: data extraction, signal preprocessing, feature extraction, machine learning classification, PSD based topographic visualizations. This created a fully automated and responsible reproducible system. The results are random forest models achieved the following accuracies. Emotion recognition was 70% accurate accuracy, and attention level 52, seizure detection 51, and anxiety level prediction 50%. Uh, as I said, the EEG data was stored with multiple layers of compressed files. To handle this, we developed a custom Python-based extraction pipeline that recursively scanned the dictionaries, automatically extracted nested archives, and read the raw data files. In pre-processing, uh, the pre-processing was a little bit critical due to noise and channel inconsistencies. Our pre-processing step included channel harmonization, fixed length segmentation, and trial filtering. In feature extraction, we built a 64 into 416 EEG matrix, uh, which resulted in a dimensional feature vector, which was much more easier for the random forest algorithm to handle. Um, our, we trained our four separate random forest classifiers, which was seizure detection, attention level classification, emotion recognition, and anxiety level prediction. We also had a power spectral density topographic map which interpreted EEG activity around our around our brain. Different frequency bands were associated with different mental states, making PSD a meaningful feature for analyzing anxiety related brain activity. We had a user interface where we could manually pick one RD file of a patient and drop it, and we would get results like this. As you can see the PSD activity of delta signals and theta and all the other signals, and the results seizure which was positive, which means there is no problem. uh, Attention was low, emotion calm, and anxiety was low. There are also our accuracies, or these were the our results. Emotion recognition, which was easier to detect, was 70. Attention level, seizure detection, and anxiety level prediction was a little bit less due to complex signals processing. In our future work, we would like to use CNN deep learning methods and make it more real time. That's it.
Divina ma'am, any questions for her?
No more question, ma'am.
All right. Kirti ma'am, any questions for her?
Yes, they have taken the ECG signals, and she said that 11,000 files were there. I just want to know why they went for random forest only.
Yes, ma'am. So our files had 11,000, which was still considered as a moderate level of moderate size uh, data set. And as these data sets had a lot of noise in them, random forest is good with noise. It is immune to noise, and it is suitable for moderate size data sets, and also it doesn't require any GPUs.
Yeah, but you did the normalization of data set. Like you
Yes, ma'am.
said that somewhere you did the normalization of data and all.
Yes, ma'am.
So how you have proceeded with normalization?
Uh, we did we did that to get PSD for CCN. We didn't use it for classification. CNN. We didn't use it for classification, but
Okay,
we
okay.
wanted to have a power spectrum topography map. So for
With
that,
that,
we had to normalize.
with that, we can say that
Okay, okay. Yes, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. And this is one last call for Pooja KNS, Sabo Hermavan, and Surya Anugrah. If any of these or their co-authors are present, please let us know. We'll wait for 30 seconds. All right, we'll proceed with the concluding remarks. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentation and contribution in this session, and all our participants for being a part of this international conference. We, on behalf of the whole team, thank you for the support during this version, and we will be happy to have you in the next version in 2026. All the presenters would be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. The publication will be live within 7 to 8 months, so I request everyone to kindly cooperate with the team of MCT4SD 2025. I would also like to thank our session chair, Professor Divina Estachio, for chairing our session. Sharing a token of appreciation on behalf of the whole team, please say a few concluding remarks for the presenters today, ma'am.
All right. As we conclude this session, so we are reminded that meaningful research does not it's more than just generate data. So it inspires action, reflection, and collaboration. So those three. And the studies shared today highlight how innovation and resilience and human-centered approaches can shape education, technology, and sustainable development and in many powerful ways. So on behalf of the organizing committee, thank you to our speakers for their dedication, to our participants for the thoughtful engagement, and to our audience, both on-site and online, for being part of this collective journey of learning. So may the insights gained today continue to spark ideas, strengthen partnerships, and of course to drive positive change well beyond this conference. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I would also like to thank Dr. Kirti Vanchale, ma'am, for her valuable presence as our session chair, sharing a token of gratitude on behalf of the team, ma'am. And please share any concluding remark for the presenters.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. I just heard about a couple of papers, but I found that the people are working on various topics. Like someone has worked on the challenges of parenting. Then we had the ECG signal work, and like these various topics says that the how the people are worried about the continuous growth that is happening, and some may go for like what is requirement of everywhere is that the sustainable development is very much required. So sustainability along with AI/ML, how it goes hand in hand, that has shown by all the presenters. And once more I would like to thank the team MCT4SD for allowing me to be at the session chair. And thank you very much, and thank you the coordinator as well, that she has conducted the session very well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And with this, we conclude our session. I will request everyone to please turn on your cameras for a snapshot of this conference. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day ahead.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, meron na tayong pang-con sa paa ko.
Thank you. God bless.